Hello everyone, this is HammerTron here with an action figure overview, comparison, and ranking video for you. This video goes up on a Friday. These are fantasy action figures, so this is Fantasy Friday. I'm going to be doing an overview of the fantasy action figures I have already reviewed. And as you can see, I have them back in the packages. I like to keep the packaging because the packaging does look nice. I like the pictures on them. I also like the window boxes, and fortunately these are window boxes. So we do have some plastic on the packaging here, so I can put the action figure back in there and display the action figure and look at them even if they are still in the package. This is good to keep the dust off of the action figure. It's also good for storage when I want to change my display, and it's good for protecting the action figures in case I move somewhere. I can keep them protected in the packaging, and when I get to a new place I am assured that the action figures are still in good shape. So I'll take these out and do a comparison and ranking of these action figures in just a moment. Here are the fantasy action figures I have already reviewed. These are all based on Dungeons and Dragons characters or action figures. This is Warduke, this is Guenhwyvar, this is Drizzt, and this is Grimsword. The Guenhwyvar and Drizzt action figures are made by Hasbro. That was part of a 2-pack exclusive to Hasbro Pulse from 2 or 3 years ago. The Warduke and Grimsword action figure are made by NECA. They were released in early 2023. Those are based on the original Advanced Dungeons and Dragons action figures made by LJN in the early 1980s. These are in the 7-inch scale. The Drizzt and Guenhwyvar action figures are in the 6-inch scale, so Drizzt is a little more than 6 inches tall. Warduke is about 8 inches tall, going up to the top of the wings on the helmet there. The Grimsword action figure is about 9 inches tall because it's a very huge action figure. So I do like how all of them look. They look very impressive with a lot of details. And I do like this animal. It's actually a magical cat that is summoned by Drizzt from another dimension using a magical statue. And I do have them all wielding their swords. The NECA action figures, I used a hairdryer on them to warm them up to make the hand more pliable to put the sword in. The hand on the Grimsword action figure I did not have to heat up to make it pliable, but I did heat it up to switch the hand. Usually it has a more open hand like this one. I switched it to a weapon holding hand. With the Drizzt action figure, I used a hairdryer to warm up both of the hands. The weapon holding hands were on the action figure, but they were all curled up very tightly. So I used a hairdryer to warm it up so I could wedge the sword handle into the hands. The Guenhwyvar, I have not used a hairdryer on that. I think I have the full range of motion. I might use a hairdryer to warm up the tail part so I can disassemble it again to put it back in the package for storage. There's no articulation in the tail, it just sticks up this way, or maybe I can turn it down this way. I like it up this way. So I am very impressed with how the action figures look. I'm just disappointed about the joints and some of the plastic. So they all need a hairdryer in order to make sure they don't break in your hands. The NECA action figures I think are known for this quality problem. 2 or 3 years ago Hasbro didn't have the problem, but during early 2023 Hasbro has had a major problem with weak plastic and the action figures breaking in their hands of people using them. But this one, I have not had that problem. All the joints have worked nicely. It's just the problem with the hands being too tight for the weapons. So I'm a little disappointed with this Grimsword action figure. It looks large and impressive, but I just don't think I can get enough range of motion from the legs to really put it in dynamic poses. I do like the sheath, the sword sheath. It is pretty fragile, I think, and it might break off very easily, so I'm very, very careful with that one. The same thing with the Drizzt action figure. There are two short sword sheaths back here. Those are pretty fragile, so I'm being very careful as I handle that so they don't break. But it is a little worrisome when I take them out of the package or when I put them back in the package for storage. So when doing that, I'm extremely gentle and careful with the weapons and sword sheath. So all in all, I do like how they look. I just wish they were more robust. So to rank these action figures, I think my least favorite is the Grimsword. It just seems to be the weakest out of all of them, despite the large, impressive size. And then next is Warduke. I do like how that looks. It seems to be a bit sturdier than the Grimsword, but it's still relatively weak. And then next is Guenhwyvar. I do like the animal, but it seems like there's a limited range of motion in the legs here. I can't spread them out very much. And so my favorite out of the whole group is the Drizzt action figure, with a lot of impressive decoration and design work on it. The biggest problem was the weapon holding hands and needing the hairdryer to make those pliable so I could wedge the weapons in there. Otherwise, all the joints in the Drizzt action figure seem to have worked very nicely. Although I have not tried swapping the head. I think I'll use a hairdryer to warm it up before I try doing that. I just want to be very gentle with the action figure. So this is my overview and ranking. Thank you for watching my video. Remember to like the video. Please leave a comment. Let me know which action figure is your favorite out of the whole group. And remember to subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews and overviews and rankings. I will see you next time. Bye everyone.